Ladies and gentlemen, my friends, fellow humans, compatriots from across the planet, I am Nikhil Parekh. In this video, I shall be speaking about my book titled You Die, I Die Love Poems Part 8, as well as giving you a recitation of different poems from this book of mine. So friends, let me commence with an introduction to this book of mine. About the poetry book. This book, which has 50 differently titled poems, is actually part 8 of the book titled You Die, I Die Love Poems, 1600 pages. Poems symbolizing the immortality of love and at times its fickleness. Parekh takes the reader through a paradise naturally embellished with the ingredients of eternal romance and its sporadic failures. As they say, life and death are two sides of the coin. Similarly, with every true anecdote of love, there also comes fretful divorce. A thing which has been most sensitively described throughout this great collection of poems for the heart. Written and dipped in each ingredient of his passionate blood, Parekh comes out with startling revelations about the truest of love stories and their failures. Each verse has been delicately intertwined with a boundless aspects of relationships, romance, cheating, betrayal, and goes on to prove that immortal love towers over every shattered heart. A start to finish with some of the most heart-rendering love poems ever. This makes a great collection for every true lover breathing and desiring to be loved on earth and beyond. This collection of poems aims at perpetually uniting every heart on this universe in the spirit of immortal love and friendship, because these are the two quintessential ingredients to lead life till its last breath. Irrespective of whatever color, faith, or religion, it is only the rainbow of love which can transform the ghastliest monsters and perpetrators of humanity into peaceful lovers. Therefore, this book inexhaustibly endeavors to speak and preach the language of love even after its last embossed alphabet. Ladies and gentlemen, I shall now be giving you a recitation of 4 different poems from this book of mine. Of course, at any juncture of victorious existence, you can purchase this book of mine from Amazon.com. The different poems that I will give you a recitation of from this book of mine are titled as Love Me. Destined to love openly, and that woman. Ladies and gentlemen, here is a recitation of my poem titled Love Me. Caress me, triggering every part of my diminutively impoverished countenance to fulminate into a thunderstorm of sensuously exhilarating fantasy. Kiss me, wildly igniting. Kiss me, wildly igniting every dormant pore of my pathetically dwindling skin to erupt into a paradise of everlastingly mesmerizing beauty. Tickle me, making me mischievously reminisce all innocuously glorious moments of my philandering childhood, engulfing the mists of disparaging desperation enshrouding my forehead with the hills of rollicking playfulness. Pat me, compassionately consoling even the most infinitesimal pour of traumatized agony in my trembling soul, profoundly reinvigorating every step that I transgressed with the light of omnipotent togetherness. Omnipotent togetherness. Cuddle me, resplendently tracing the murderously exhausted outlines of my sagging ribs with the insatiably enchanting magic in your divinely fingers. Enlighten me, omnisciently filtering a path of magically proliferating righteousness in the chapter of my disastrously disappearing and faltering life. Faltering life. Refresh me, voluptuously painting the canvas of my baselessly treacherous existence with the colors of your panoramically spellbinding enchantment. Bless me, inundating the insidiously shattering threads of my life with the untamed fires of perpetual truth, majestically blazing in your unflinching eyes. Titillate me, indefatigably melanging the tantalizing rivulets of golden sweat in your ravishing visage with the unparalleled heat that diffused from my form all the time. That diffused from my form all the time. Fascinate me, unfurling into an unsurpassable entrenchment of exotically harmonious newness, marvelously awakening me from my despairing coffin of brutally sullen remorsefulness. Pinch me, flirtatiously carving an unfathomable tunnel of desire through my obsoletely drifting senses, metamorphosing every diffidently deteriorating pore of my body into a fathomlessly regal valley of perennial poetry. Into a fathomlessly regal valley of perennial poetry. Inspire me, incessantly urging me to intrepidly keep marching ahead. Evolve into the sun. Evolve into the sun of unconquerably humanitarian victory on every step that I nimbly tread. Drown me, profusely encapsulating even the most inconspicuous element of my truculently extradited demeanor with the mantra of ecstatically symbiotic sharing. Tempt me, inevitably evoking even the most dolorously deadened arena of my lackluster body to timelessly coalesce with the profoundly unsurpassable artistry diffusing from your breath. Unwind me, uninhibitedly freeing every ingredient of asphyxiating manipulation from my countenance for centuries unprecedented. Uninhibitedly freeing every ingredient of asphyxiating manipulation from my countenance for centuries unprecedented. Endowing a wind of eternal bliss upon every droplet of my invidiously evaporating blood. Tame me, holistically blending the merciless prejudice ruthlessly ingrained in my worthless persona with the pricelessly aristocratic rudiments of Mother Nature. Embrace me, wholesomely bonding even the most feeble part of your magnetic body forever with mine, letting your amiably omnipresent warmth be my most faithful friend till the end of my time. Tease me, being the ultimate angel of my indigently cursed life, being the ultimate angel of my indigently cursed life, fomenting me to ebulliently explode into an insurmountably endless gorge of endless cries, and kiss me, immortally uniting the beats of your philanthropically palpitating heart forever with mine, irrefutably making sure that not even the most minuscule of ghost or spirit could ever invade our tireless rhyme, and and love me, immortally uniting the beats of your philanthropically palpitating heart forever with mine, irrefutably making sure that not even the most minuscule of ghost or spirit could ever invade our tireless rhyme, could ever invade our tireless rhyme. Ladies and gentlemen, here is a recitation of my poem titled Destined to Love from this book of mine. Perhaps he was destined to relentlessly swim in the poignantly tangy oceans, tirelessly wading across the unsurpassably stormy waves, all sweltering day and resplendently star-studded night, while perhaps she was destined to laze like a princess on the surreally untamed mountain top, with the mystical entrenchment of clouds majestically tantalizing every iota of her voluptuously nubile skin. Perhaps he was destined to trespass on a battalion of indiscriminately satanic thorns, unrelentingly oozing into an ocean of ghastly blood, more rampantly as the instants unfold into wholesome minutes, while perhaps she was destined to blend with the fragrance of heavenly goodness all her life, coalescing even the most infinitesimal iota of her regal countenance with the winds of unbelievably benevolent tranquility. Perhaps he was destined to guzzle preposterously ominous venom, incarcerating every ingredient of his immaculate blood with the coffins of horrifically asphyxiating torture, while perhaps she was destined to float in the eyes of unparalleled desire for infinite more births yet to unveil, coalescing every element of her vivacious life with the stupendously ingratiating melody of this enchanting planet. Perhaps he was destined to abominably rot. Perhaps he was destined to abominably rot in the dungeons of condemnation, with every entity trespassing him, rebukingly whipping his nimble body with swords of diabolical exasperation. While perhaps she was destined to timelessly philander on unfathomable meadows of pure silk, uninhibitedly freeing each of her impeccable senses to perennially bond with the divine. Perhaps he was destined to transgress through only disastrously gory impediments every unleashing second of his life, sardonically bearing the brunt of the conventionally turgid and ruthless society. While perhaps she was destined to embrace the waves of irrefutably invincible triumph, since the moment she opened her celestial eyes, wonderfully assimilating all spellbinding righteousness lingering in the magical atmosphere. Perhaps he was destined to deplorably loiter in dolorously featured lavatories of baseless lies, exploding into a graveyard of licentious manipulation, even as he was about to exhale his very last breath. While perhaps she was destined to be the ultimate harbinger of eternally sacrosanct truth, propagate the unconquerable essence of symbiotic humanity to even the most obsolete cranny of this limitless planet. Perhaps he was destined to be uxoriously torched into realms of worthless extinction, indefatigably be pulverized by the truculent maelstrom of treacherously trampling demons. While perhaps she was destined to replenish even the most inconspicuous speck of her soul with the unendingly eclectic artistry of this gigantically exuberant earth. Perhaps he was destined to taste meaninglessly atrocious dust and stone even before he could tread a single step, even before he could execute the most mercurial puff of his disdainfully staggering breath, while perhaps she was destined to unveil into a fabulous festoon of boundlessly beautiful colors, romance in the sensuously fathomless entrenchment of enigmatic life for times immemorial. Times immemorial. Perhaps he was destined to unsparingly burn under the ferociously blazing inferno of debilitatingly persevering summer, having to climb mountains as Herculean as the omnipotent sun, having to climb mountains as Herculean as the omnipotent sun, for moistening his lips with even a single droplet of water. While perhaps she was destined to ebulliently frolic in the lanes of heavenly mischievousness, leading each moment of her blessed life like an ecstatically newborn princess. But one thing was unassailably, one thing was what even the omniscient grace of the Almighty Lord couldn't ever deny. But one thing was unassailably, one thing was what even the omniscient grace of the Almighty Lord couldn't. One thing was what even the omniscient grace of the Almighty Lord couldn't ever deny. What even the omniscient grace of the Almighty Lord couldn't ever deny, that they were both destined to immortally love, marvelously bonding the rhythm of their compassionately throbbing hearts with the beats of impregnable existence, with the spirit of everlasting living kind, that they were both destined to immortally love, marvelously bonding the rhythm of their compassionately throbbing hearts with the beats of impregnable existence, with the spirit of everlasting living kind. Ladies and gentlemen, I shall now give you a recitation of my poem titled Openly. So here is a recitation of this poem of mine from this book. Secretly she admired my fluttering eyelashes, insatiably wanting to trap every element of her magnetic countenance forever and wholesomely with mine. Secretly she insatiably romanticized about my patriotic stride, relentlessly wanting me to trespass through her gateways of unparalleled romance. Unparalleled romance. Secretly she unrelentingly dreamt about intermingling her fingers with mine, compassionately incarcerating even the most infinitesimal ingredient of my countenance with her bountiful rhyme. With her bountiful rhyme. Secretly she timelessly perceived about philandering with me behind the gloriously sun-soaked hills, mischievously nibbling the barren regions of my chest, as frosty winds of winter embraced us from all sides. Secretly, she intransigently fantasized about wandering with me through the aisles of boundless desire, basking in the untamed glory, of my ardently blazing perspiration. Secretly, she limitlessly conceived herself to be perennially sandwiched within my frantically outstretched arms, replenishing even the most mercurial of her senses with the scent of unprecedented brazenness that enshrouded my visage. Secretly, she insurmountably pictured herself in my lap on the absolute summit of the moonlit hills, profoundly relishing the ravishing beams of the moon, as my breath poignantly cascaded on her tantalizing skin. Secretly, she indefatigably visualized my rollickingly fluttering earlobes, fervently desiring to peck them with her sensuous teeth, all sweltering day and night. Secretly, she continuously envisaged the periphery of my charismatically rubicund lips, triumphantly wishing to enigmatically kiss me till the very end of my time. Secretly, she fathomlessly wanted to encapsulate the irrefutably sparkling honesty of my soul, exotically blending with the fragrance that diffused from my masculine armpits. Secretly, she endlessly daydreamt about my swirling hair, irrevocably wanting to run her poignantly intricate fingers through my boundless garden of silken strands. Secretly, she ingratiatingly gallivanted with my ethereally sensuous shadow, eternally coalescing with my frantically wandering impressions for decades immemorial. Secretly, she blissfully gyrated with my nimbly compassionate visage, pulsating with the persevering rhythm of my life on even the most acrimoniously disastrous step that I tread. Secretly, she uxoriously lay at my rustically bohemian feet, drowning into a world of unfathomable enchantment, celestially enthralled as I innocuously snored. Secretly, she irrefutably philosophized even the most diminutive cadence that I uttered, unflinchingly believing in whatever I decided to undertake in the chapter of my vibrantly mesmerizing life. Secretly, she found me the ultimate prince of even the most evanescent of her dreams, divinely patronizing the essence of my ideals to even the most fathomless quarters of this colossal universe. Secretly, she kept me forever in the innermost realms of her conscience and breath, sacredly cherished even the most inconspicuous iota of my aura in the very center of her majestic chest. Secretly, she remained imprisoned in the whites of my eye. For infinite more births of mine yet to unveil, immortally bonding every aspect of her existence forever with my every stride. But openly, she loved me transcending over all caste, creed, spurious religion, and tribe on the trajectory of this fathomless universe. And openly she disclosed it to one and all on this earth and beyond, that I was hers and would always remain like that till the end of time. But openly she loved me, transcending over all caste, creed, spurious religion, and tribe on the trajectory of this fathomless universe. And openly she disclosed it to one and all on this earth and beyond, that I was hers and would always remain. That I was hers and would always remain like that till the end of time. That I was hers and would always remain like that till the end of time. Ladies and gentlemen, I shall now give you a recitation of my poem titled That Woman. So here is the recitation of this poem of mine. Every tree flooded the atmosphere with vibrantly exhilarating breeze, blissfully impregnating a wave of enchantment in the dolorously deadened atmosphere around. But my eyes were intransigently searching for that tree which yielded compassionate shade, engulfing even the most infinitesimal iota of my monotonous dreariness with astoundingly heavenly tranquility. Every cloud in the fathomless sky looked vividly enchanting, celestially drifting into boundless bits of satiny space. But my eyes were uncompromisingly searching for that cloud which would torrentially rain, entrench every dying pore of my countenance with ecstatic tumblers of divinely ravishing rain water. Every wave in the gigantic ocean was gloriously undulating, disseminating into a festoon of enamoring froth after clashing against the chain of majestically ragged rocks. But my eyes were unrelentingly searching for that wave which would reach the shores of my tyrannically tortured life, omnisciently enlightening it with unconquerable optimism and forgiveness. Omnisciently enlightening it with unconquerable optimism and tanginess. Every flower marvelously blossomed at the crack of bountifully fascinating dawn, regally lighting the complexion of the mystically resplendent valley. But my eyes were indefatigably searching for that flower which would deluge the withering coffin of my existence with unassailable fragrance, which would deluge the withering coffin of my existence with unassailable fragrance, handsomely perpetuate each aspect of my life with the sacred spirit of mankind. Every shadow beautifully lengthened after the ball of flaming sun disappeared behind the horizons, eventually blending with the fabric of the royally twinkling night. But my eyes were irrevocably searching for that shadow which would wholesomely drape my diminutively trembling form with an unprecedentedly enthralling maelstrom of eternal sensuousness. Every trail unfurled into a mystically appeasing entrenchment, an uncanniness that was a challenge for the living organism to dexterously tackle. But my eyes were relentlessly searching for that trail which would perennially lead me into the isles of amiable togetherness, where I could uninhibitedly bond with life, irrespective of spurious caste, creed, color, or tribe, irrespective of spurious caste, creed, color, of tribe. Every ray of the omnipresent sun ingratiatingly sizzled the earth, blazing its way through even the most clammiest crannies of disparagingly darkened Malays. But my eyes were unfathomably searching for that ray which would trigger a sky of benign goodness in my brutally lambasted life, maneuver me towards the meadows of irrefutably princely righteousness. Every breath that diffused pumped quintessential life into the abysmally collapsing form, rejuvenating the undefeatedly unparalleled elixir of survival to the most unsurpassable limits. But my eyes were inexhaustibly searching for that breath which would be my timeless companion for infinite more births to come, which would be my timeless companion for infinite more births to come, never making me feel that I was treacherously solitary, orphaned and alone, never making me feel that I was treacherously solitary, orphaned and alone. And every woman on this colossal globe was inherently beautiful, possessing the most pricelessly tender characteristics of the Lord's symbiotic creation. And every woman on this colossal globe was inherently beautiful, possessing the most pricelessly tender characteristics of the Lord's symbiotic creation. But my eyes were tirelessly searching for that woman who would bond the beats of her heart forever with mine, forever love me more than I could ever love my own life. But my eyes were tirelessly searching for that woman who would bond the beats of her heart forever with mine, forever love me more than I could ever love my own life, forever love me more than I could ever love my own life. Ladies and gentlemen, it truly was a privilege for me to have given a recitation of this poetry of mine to your impeccable jurisdiction. At any juncture of victorious existence, you can of course purchase this book of mine from Amazon.com. From the innermost realm of my soul, I wanted to thank you for having listened to me. Thank you for listening to me.